Before we begin, I need to play this one clip from Echo Gaming because it's going to set the stage of what exactly today's video is about and my thought process.
I really love what I do. But one thing that I can't do anymore, that I kind of made a soft promise that I have to go back on, is I cannot cover Clash of Clans on this channel anymore. These videos are tanking very hard. They're expensive to make. I have an editor putting approximately 8 hours, if not more, into each of these videos to make them really fun and enjoyable. I mean, that was the whole idea and the plan. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't make me want to wake up in the morning, turn on the game, and play it when it's not being accepted well by the community. I mean, really, at the end of the day, people just don't want to watch it, which I need to take I need to be able to see that as a content creator and say, man, if no one wants to watch this, why the hell am I going to keep making it?
Is this going to be farewell for my channel? Is this going to be no more Call of Dragons content? And this is one thing, I'll be honest with you, been tossing and turning and thinking about for quite a few months now. It's not just this, it's come up, recently, but been thinking about it for the last few months. And what we're going to do is kind of discuss that in today's video and give you guys a little bit more one-to-one with how I'm thinking, especially when it comes to the channel, because as you guys know, I built this channel from nothing, right? I started out, as many of you guys will know, from Call of Dragons only content. I covered every day a Call of Dragons video, which honestly, as you can see, puts a smile to my face to this day, because it just shows the dedication and passion and love I really did have for this game. And then on top of that, right, the fact that I had no editing skills, nothing at all. But now I can do editing videos for sponsors or for certain videos that require really good editing. And you can see as we're kind of discussing it, some, examples right now on top, right? And it's fun and I've enjoyed the experience. But coming to Call of Dragons now, though, it's one of them things where I'm playing the game and it's just not, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's not enjoyable anymore. The PvP always is super, super fun for this game. But when I'm making content, it's weird. Unless it's something brand new, I'm not really feeling it anymore. And that's just because, let's be real, when it comes to Call of Dragons, this is a really bad example, but, not really bad, but good example, should I say. There's just nothing to do in the game. And now we're waiting for tomorrow to get these 2 events. And then most of these are ending. And then we've got... So there's always only like 2 or 3 events running on the game. And on top of that, which is just another thing which is a bit of a pain in the ass for me, and I know other content creators feel the same way, is there's nothing really to do in-game. You know what I mean? Like, when there's no war, there's no, like, fun events, there's nothing you can do in this game. Where you play other games, which are super more successful in viewership, especially games that are clearly not as well received, especially because the PvP in Call of Dragons is #1, but if you compare it to, like, Whiteout Survival, Age of Empires Mobile, and even sometimes, like, Clash of Clans, it just gets so many more views than this game does. And yes, those games have been out for a lot longer, apart from Age of Empires being more of the new kid on the block, but it's because those games have content and there's stuff to do. So an example is, like, if you play Age of Empires Mobile, you can do the rally against tribes and just kill things on the map without using stamina. And it does require your alliance members to join because it's a rally, so it's a team-based thing, but there's just, like, nothing like that in the game. And when you start to look at the implementations they've been doing, such as even like the Battle of Abyss event that's just ended for us for the one day it's on, you don't get great rewards for one. Like the star, the XP and the regen pots, it's like whatever. The stars is what you want the main ones for. But then on top of it, it punishes you as a player. This should be a fun game mode that props up way more often than it does and just lets players experience PvP. But they don't do that. Instead, they've made the decision to make the player spend resources now in their hospitals to obviously heal up, and it causes a really bad dynamic where if you're in a season and you're in war, well, you're not going to be playing Battle of Abyss, because anytime you've used troops in Battle of Abyss, you should have been using them on the battlefield to win the season, right? So it's in this weird boat where it comes to the content side of things, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And I am excited, as many people are, with the new season introductions. The new behemoths is exactly what I've been asking for the longest of times. And you guys were saying, oh, this isn't possible, they can't make a boss that's almost as complicated as a WoW one. But here we are, we've got movable stages, different tasks and pillars to do while we're doing the stone golem, and even how the shadow dragon has multiple elements and it can do all sorts of stuff by even pulling your units back in time. So for all of those haters out there, I just want to say, I told you so. But at the same time, it just feels too late. And the more I'm looking in Call of Dragons, it's just like, it's the same thing over and over again. Where's the dwarves? There's no dwarf faction. When's it coming? I don't know. Is the next faction going to be the Draconians? Because we've started seeing already 3 different heroes in development, basically, and being showcased off. And one of them's in game already, being Mu Hasang. Is Draconians going to be the next one, and we're not going to get dwarves until after? Who knows? On top of that, skill lock, this one feature everyone's been waiting for since they screwed over every single person. With the way the whole star system works now, you can't obviously fix heroes. You have to do what I'm doing. So if you get a brand new hero, you want to only 2-star him or 1-star him to get the first skill done and then the second skill. And technically, if you're using like Magrat, you'd only 3-star him to get this one done. It is what it is, right? And it's just, to me, not good enough anymore. And I'm excited about some of the changes, and I think you guys are too, including the fact that Mu Hasang is an epic hero that can transcend into a legendary hero. I love that, and I hope to God the devs obviously introduce it to the other faction-based heroes, because I do think in the long run, Mu Hasang would be the starting hero for the Draconian faction when it comes, and it would make sense. And if there is, the other heroes need that transcend too, and it would be really good for progression in the game, and it would be good content. But apart from that, guys, let's be real, the game to me just isn't what it is anymore. It's not fun. And then there's other stuff that's added in too. So let's get a little bit more personal now, because we've talked about the game and you guys are probably understanding, okay, he's got some points, there's a lot more points, to be fair, but I don't want to make this video over an hour long, right? Maybe someone shouts me out, maybe BN watches the video and he goes, you know what, Sneaky, let's have an interview, let me ask you some questions, I'll answer them, right? But then there's other things as well in the game. And one thing I've noticed over the last 6 months is just the whole community. And I'm not saying like every single one of you, because there is a lot of good eggs in the basket, but it seems like there's too many rotten eggs now in the whole community, and it's just getting too much, to the point where even myself, I don't really say anything anymore in that Call of Dragons Discord. I just don't enjoy it in there because of this weird hive mind mob mentality. Like, if you say something, do something, or anything they deem wrong, it becomes this weird witch hunt, and it just becomes fucking horrible and just toxic, and I'm not about it. And if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, I can give you examples. So, like, for example, a few months back, there was a video out, right, trying to basically end a content creator's career, which I just can't believe someone actually went out the way to do. Don't get me wrong, when they were asking me about it, they was asking, how would you do it? I give them obviously pointers and explain to them, if you're going to do something like this, you need to have concrete evidence. But when it came out, I did not want to be associated with that, because it was one of them things where there was such a stretch of drama from one person and trying to associate this person with that person. I just stayed out of it because it just wasn't worth it. And that was like, to me, like a red flag on what the community really is capable of. If they just don't like you, they don't want anything to do with you, or if they want to screw you over, they'll just fuck you over, because that's just the way they are now. And it's not just that. It's like even me recently, right? You guys, for some reason, think because I didn't make a video on the whole pay to win situation, I wasn't able to speak on it because I needed Toxic's fucking permission, as many of you guys try to copy him out. Well, here it is, just to give you guys a fucking reality check. And Toxic doesn't have to give me permission to make any content on Call of Dragons, because he knows at the end of the day, I'm going to speak my mind, I'm going to make videos, and I am my own guy. This is my business. This is how I make my money every single day. I'm a full-time content creator, so it is what it is, right? But in the whole situation, guys, I stayed because I stayed. I don't know why they picked me, but one reason I will say, even though you guys want to claim this 6.7 million merits is the reason that I should be going, well, if that's the only reason, then you guys are just idiots, because before the season even began, and I told Stan and other R4 officers, I probably won't be playing this season because I don't have the resources to fight. I don't have too much. So what I would be doing would be free healing only while I'm in between Age of Empires Mobile. Because as you guys have seen, I have been really churning out the content on that because A, it's really popular. B, I'm actually really enjoying the game. And C, the community over there is so much more mature and welcoming, and they want to learn and want to see creators grow, which is such a nice thing compared to over here, which is just weird. It's a weird turn on, right? So going back to it, I don't know what else to say to you guys, because at the end of the day, if you think merits is the only metric on why someone should be kicked or kept in a alliance, then I'm just gonna say you guys are sadly mistaken, because there's other metrics that you need to care about, right? Activity during behemoths, activity during building, activity during Roots of War, activity during the alliance mobilization event. There's so many different things that actually add up to your activity, and you would be surprised, hence why I'm 87 million power now, since I was only just turning 81 million at the beginning of last season. I grew 6 million power from just doing alliance mobilization stuff and alliance tasks. So there's different ways people can be active. That's what I'm trying to get at. So you can hate on me as much as you want. You can make as many memes as much as you want on the whole situation. But I'm just going to say you guys are fucking cringe. And at the end of the day, I've seen players with 100 million get less percentage than I did, and get 100 million plus players with even less than 5 million merits. But you guys don't want to bring any of that up. You only want to bring up that me, a content creator, didn't perform as well as the others. So it is what it is. I'm already, accustomed to this kind of bullshit by now, because you guys always think of some new bullshit to say, right? So even on that, you can see, like, you guys tried as a community to come at me. I purposely stayed silent for the whole point until it was over. And you can see it really didn't affect me, guys. Like, I'm still churning on. I'm still happy. I'm still in the alliance. And to be honest, I'm having a great time in here now, since it's been technically pushed out, because there was a load of people in there as well that love to talk shit and bring ego into chat when we're just having discussions. So there's a load of stuff that it is what it is, right? You can have your view. I have my view on it, right? But this is the whole point that I'm trying to go by, right? The community, at the end of the day, now, as a large proportion of you guys have this weird, toxic mob mentality where you want to go for people, you go for people. You want to try and end their careers, you can go and end their careers. And it's just fucking, to me, disgusting. So that's why, for me, all I'm going to be doing now for Call of Dragons is probably see how Season 3 goes. because obviously it's a new season, so there's some new content. I'm going to post some videos for Call of Dragons and obviously make some new stuff and see how that plays out. Do those videos get views? Because at the end of the day, I am a content creator. I do this full time. This is the only way I make money, guys, is through making videos, ad revenue, and technically editing for other creators now, because I can do that. So is Call of Dragons going to be worth it for me in the long run to keep covering? Because if you guys keep saying, don't quit, Sneaky, don't quit, we want your content, we need it, don't worry about it, right? Ignore the others. But then when I post a video, it gets less than 1,000 views in 24 hours, but I can post an Age of Empires mobile video and it gets over 1,000 views in like 6 hours or even 12 hours at a stretch, and it can go even higher, as you guys can see on the channel now, right? Is it really worth it to me? Is it worth the, honestly, the bullshit you see in the comment section and on Discord and in game? Is it really worth all that toxicity to post videos on a game that at the moment just isn't being demanded? Let's be real. People do not demand Call of Dragons videos. It's just, it is what it is. The game is in the state it is through decisions over the last couple of years that obviously ain't to the beneficial of us players, hence why players have quit, and more players have quit than joined the game, hence why the reduction of players overall that's in. So do I keep doing it? That's the end thing, and I'm coming to the conclusion of saying no. So like I said, I'm gonna say farewell maybe in a month's time, because after this season goes and see how this season is and what happens is really going to determine if I choose to cover Call of Dragons any further. I'm going to be real, because I'm just kind of at that point now. As you can see, I've covered the game for over 800 plus days, right? I've covered this bad boy for so long, and I'm at that point now where I've gone through all the ups and downs and the loop-de-loops of the roller coaster that's been Call of Dragons. I've lived through it all. And do I see it getting any better, or do I see it still going through these roller coasters and loop-de-loops? And I honestly do see it doing that. And the reason why, just to finish up on the video, because I know a lot of you guys ask this in Guns' live stream, even on my Discord and sometimes in game, you asked why wasn't I invited into the test server, or why wasn't I there in the test server? Well, I don't know. I don't know, because they didn't invite me out, even though I was one of the very first creators always demanding a test server, and I would happily be a tester for them, but they didn't want to reach out. So to me, that just gives me the big slap across the face, saying from the Call of Dragons devs that they don't want my channel to have anything to do with COD, because if it did, I would have been one of the easiest candidates to have an invitation to the test server, because of obviously how long and how kind of prestigious the channel has been to Call of Dragons. Even if I left the Call of Dragons content creator program, which I did back last year in March, guess what? I'm still, for that last year, been covering Call of Dragons while other games and other sponsors and getting by, right? So it is what it is. And we've grown to 10K now. And I want to say thank you to all of the Call of Dragons fans, all of the Age of Empires fans, all of the different fans from all the different games I've technically covered over the last year. That's grown the channel from around 3,500, 4,000 subs all the way past to 10K now. Like, thank you, because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this, right? So it's one of them. So now you know where my mind is at. Now you know why I haven't been posting Call of Dragons content. really, and where my headspace is, especially when it comes to Call of Dragons. So who knows what season 4 has in store for everyone in this Rise of Dragons. Hopefully it's going to be a good one, because obviously we've got Falgrim and Sybil that I'm looking forward to unlocking. And just to kind of show, I have been prepping 100 forged artifact keys to get that artifact, and I've got 30 tickets ready, and obviously I can get more when the event comes. So I can't wait to try and get the heroes and get the artifact and use them. So I am still excited for some of the new stuff, but at the end of the day, I have to think long term about the channel. I need to think about what's best for me, and at the moment, covering other games has been the solution, and getting sponsors for different games has been a better solution, even to the point where now I'm considering making a second channel dedicated to a brand new game to cover that I've never played before, but I'm already enjoying that experience more than I am doing this Call of Dragons one. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds? At the end of the day, I think no matter what, I'll be real, I'll still play the game. I think I'll still play the game. You'll probably still see me in the battlefield no matter what, and you'll still see me popping up in Guns' live stream because he is my boy, and I'm not going to talk about the situation with him and partner because I would go on for another 10 minutes easily for that, but he's my boy, so I'm always going to turn up no matter what, however big we grow, if it's 10k, 20k, 100k, a million, who knows, because I have that ambition to grow the largest mobile gaming community here on YouTube, and have this amazing community. All of you guys are welcome. Call of Dragons, Age of Empires Mobile, Watcher of Realms, Raid Shadow Legends, Godforge, all the new games that might come out in the next few years, who knows, right? But all of those games are welcome in the Sneaky community. So for now, hopefully that answered a lot of your questions, and if it didn't, put them in the comment section down below, and I will try my best to answer any of the questions. And if, I don't know, there's a content creator out there that wants to make a free video just to hit the daily quota, I'm happy to answer questions, because I know what the grind is like for this game. You need it, right? So until then, guys, until the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky, peace out.